On Fridays, we like to feature news from the state that never disappoints. The weird, the offbeat, the lawless, the controversial, the insane. This is news from Florida.
It's time for Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
A look at the weirdest stories from our weirdest state.
We start at Burger King, everybody. I know, it's a fast food Florida madness. A Florida man threatened Burger King employees with a pair of pliers while jumping the counter and demanding free food. Hubert Credit Jr. He's 50 years old. Got to give him credit for being 50 and jumping the counter, by the way. That's not to be ignored as a part of the story.
You got to give him credit for having a last name of Credit, too.
I got to give him credit. I got to give credit. Exactly. He entered the fast food restaurant in Tampa shortly after 5:30 in the evening and began stating that he wanted free food from workers. When the workers refused, Credit pulled a pair of pliers from his pocket and threatened them. Surveillance video shows Credit banging the pliers on the counter and knocking over one of the cash registers. He then can be seen jumping the service counter, and that's where he made additional threats. In fear, a restaurant manager discreetly notified a citizen in the drive-through lane with her radio headset that they were in danger and to call 911. In the meantime, the manager was forced to give Credit free food. Responding officers arrived and found Credit eating the food inside a stall in the men's bathroom. He didn't think the caper through.
Ooh, it's a wild idea.
No.
It just might work.
You think it's a wild idea to go into a place with pliers, demand free food, and then eat the food right there? Yeah. Hey, I was just waiting for you guys to come. I was just eating the food.
At least he found the cleanest place, in the store.
I hope he washed his hands before that. A man drinks bleach in Florida courtroom after the jury finds him guilty.
Ooh, it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
I don't see how it works. This happened in Miami-Dade County. A man found guilty of armed robbery by a Florida jury drank a cup of bleach after the verdict was read. The family of Jermaine Bell, who's been in custody for more than 3 years fighting the charges against him, says that he drank a cup of bleach and they don't know where he got the bleach.
That's a serious security breach.
I
he
think
could have
so.
brought in acid or something else and thrown it at
Sure.
someone.
And they don't know. He was removed from the courtroom on a stretcher, taken to a hospital. He will survive, they say. But they're under investigation, the courthouse and those in the courtroom, as to how he got the bleach. Publix is offering in-store bars at 3 Central Florida locations
baby.
because there's just not enough drinking going on at Publix. Publix, which if you don't know from the, in California, we don't have them. They spell it Publix, and it's the big grocery store, and I believe it's a pharmacy as well. The stores, in addition to offering alcohol, will offer coffee, tea, kombucha, smoothies. They're going to offer beer, wine, along with coffee, tea, and kombucha. Orlando and Claremont and Ormond Beach are the places.
So drinking in Publix is legal.
I see what you did. Yes, I'm very impressed. Meantime, on the other side of town, a Florida man is behind bars accused of recording a woman in a Publix bathroom. They've arrested a man who they said entered a Publix bathroom, recorded a woman in a bathroom stall. He was caught on surveillance video holding a cell phone with a red case and walking into the hallway near the restroom.
Sounds like he stopped off at the bar first.
Yeah, I guess they still don't want to rethink that whole alcohol thing. All right. Investigators say the victim noticed a person in the stall next to her with very big shoes as she was getting ready to leave the stall. She said she noticed the subject holding the cell phone with the red case over the stall, pointing at her. She left the restroom, notified the store management, who they later called deputies. Surveillance video, of course, showed the suspect running out of the store after the encounter. She does want to press charges for video voyeurism. They have found him, so they're going to take him down. No charge has been filed yet, but they did find the guy who perpetrated it. I like
Probably found him at the bar, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, certainly that would be a primary spot to look. A Florida man uncovers a $40,000 diamond ring on the beach, and he gives it back to the owners.
Wow.
Yeah. 37-year-old Joseph Cook, a metal detecting enthusiast, recently discovered a $40,000 ring in the sands of Hammock Beach. When I first found it, I thought it was just a nickel. Then I dug it up, and I was just and it was just this big old diamond and platinum ring. It is the biggest diamond he's ever found on the beach, he says. After bringing the ring to a jeweler, he discovered the piece of jewelry was worth around $40,000. That led him to immediately post it across social media in an attempt to find the owners. What a good guy this guy is. Cook eventually started receiving calls from an unknown number, which he skipped over. He didn't take any number, and calls from an unknown number. Then, eventually, the number began sending over pictures and messages that led him to realize that that was the owner of the ring. Cook said that he did not receive anything for returning the ring except good karma. This karma came back for him quickly as he soon found another diamond ring on the beach.
Seriously? What the?
Yeah.
Seriously? What the
I kid you not. I messaged a jeweler. You want to know what happened? I literally just got done messaging him. I dug up another ring.
What?
Can you imagine not giving somebody something for a $40,000 ring? Come on.
No, I can't. I told you the story of and I won't tell it now, but I'll tell it another time. The $500 Bellagio chip that I lost, and somebody found it, and they gave it to me. And I mean, it's a really good story, and it's online in a bunch of places because I've shared that story on a couple of shows. But and I'll share it on this show next week. But I gave the guy $100. How can you not give somebody something for returning? In my case, it's a $500 Bellagio chip. This is a $40,000 diamond ring, and the guy gets nothing.
Not even a Starbucks card.
I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, you should do.
You get nothing.
Something.
You throw it back on the beach.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's pretty cool to just, A new car! No, I'm not saying you have to pony up a new car, but I am saying he should. But he did find another diamond ring. And so there's that. Meantime, stand by. I'm just got to, here it is. A Florida man accused of killing his girlfriend bragged about her death. And it was in the bragging that he gets arrested. He was already serving time in a Tampa prison for attempted murder. Now he'll face a murder charge for this death of his then-girlfriend in Orange County. I feel like we might have done this story. Bobby Lee Story is his last name, 57, arrested and transported from the Florida Department of Corrections to the Orange County Jail, where he was booked on second-degree murder. He's already in jail, and he's bragging about this fact that he's killed his girlfriend. And they go, oh, great. So you're going to be prosecuted for that.
Yeah, I don't have that on my list for today.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Yeah, I don't know why it's here. But anyway, yeah, I think we did the story. But you can never do that story enough.
But if you get them in order,
if you get them in order, well, that throws off the order. It's supposed to be a different story. That's why. It's headlined something different.
Oh, okay.
It's headlined Epcot visitor, and that when I click on it, it goes to the Florida man accused of killing.
Go to the next story, and then John will fix it.
All right, cool. I mean, it's just a screw up in
whoever is producing this thing
not so bad,
has
actually.
no idea what they're doing.
A stepdad shoots PS4 during argument with stepson. Byron Haynes, 41, faces charges of aggravated assault and child neglect. He shot a PlayStation 4 during an argument with his stepson, according to the cops. Cops say the stepson told them his stepfather, Byron Haynes, was yelling at his sister, and the boy intervened. The boy said Haynes told him to shut the F up and get out of the room. The boy and Haynes began to argue. The man retrieved a gun from his bedroom, and Haynes began to pistol whip this PlayStation 4 before shooting the console. The stepson says that Haynes aimed the gun at him while telling him to leave the room, which is when the boy called his mother to come pick him up. Haynes later claimed he had accidentally fired the gun while beating the PlayStation 4. He also claimed he never pointed the gun at the boy. He was arrested, faces charges of aggravated assault, as I say, assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill, child neglect without great bodily harm, and firing a weapon in a residential area.
If you get it in order, you get extra points.
There you go. So,
I like how he stopped to call his mom to pick him up. I think I would just like run out.
Me too. Me too.
Hey, Mom, can you pick me up? I have a gun pointed at me.
Right. By the way, I'm not at that house anymore. I left it in kind of with a note of urgency. Yeah. Chris says, show that PS4 who's the boss. Exactly. That's Friday Fabulous Florida for today.
This has been Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
Y'all come back now, yeah?
No, that sounds bad too. You see how, Tony, I got that, the stuff, I re-recorded
I'm making
a bunch.
notes.
I re-recorded a bunch of stuff, man. It takes hours. I re-recorded a bunch of stuff. But it's just still, that distortion is just wild. So anyway.
That's on the re-recorded stuff?
No, that's not on a re-recorded.
Okay.
That was the original record. But I can re-record it. But I'm just saying.
All right, I'm making a list. I've been making a list all day today of everything I'm going to fix next week.
All right.
Everything that's wrong.
Yeah.
Everything that's wrong with the program.
Everything I've done wrong when I set up this new studio, because it's on me. Look, I'll take the blame. Everything everything you hear is my fault, good or bad. So
no.
I will fix it.
Tony, you haven't been with this show long enough. Everything's my fault.
No. It's all John's fault. Please, it
Producing
really
this
is.
thing
If John
has no idea what they're doing.
So, you are one of the truly great dudes I've ever met in this industry. So you are.
No worries, man. We'll get everything figured out. Everything's good. I can make him a little bit better.
A little bit of a tweak.
So
all right, here's what's happening. What's that I will say that Chris is right about this. Is this Chris? No, here it is. Thanks, Tony. That's no, but Chris is the one I wanted. Here it is. That last one sounded the most Floridian to me. I agree with that. I thought the guy shooting the PS4 because he's, and he's the stepfather and he's peed off at his son and he goes to the bedroom to get a gun. That's very Florida. That
Although
really
so is pliers at a Burger King. We don't really get those here.
Yeah, well, we do have to choose a favorite. So I ask you, John, what is your favorite? Sounds like you're leaning toward pliers.
No. Actually, I'm going to go with commentator in the chat. The bar in the supermarket.
Oh, the bar in the Publix, which will be serving. That's not a bad thought.
That's synergy.
Yeah, Tony, what do you think? Should I remind you that's a $40,000 diamond ring returned? Drinking is now
that guy's just dumb.
Okay. Publix. The guy who drinks bleach in the courtroom after the jury finds him guilty. The Florida man jumping the Burger King counter, demanding free food, wielding a pair of pliers.
See,
the woman being recorded by the guy in the Publix bathroom.
That's too dark.
That's
but PlayStation 4 would have won if it was a PS5. Since it's last gen, PlayStation, not as good. Not as dramatic. I'll go with Publix then at that point. Bar.
Publix bar.
Yeah.
I have to say, for me, it's the guy with the pliers. So
that's anyway. A close second too.
Yeah,
was right there.
I think that there you have it.
You have to give him credit.
You got to give credit.
It's the eating credit. The food there that makes it Florida.
Right. That's so true.
And then he comes back. He's like, "Do you have any sweet and sour?" Yeah.